Hello, guys. Today's story is so terrifying that if you are listening to this at night, don't listen alone. And if you love horror stories like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel because what happened that night was not a dream. This is the story of a boy who had just moved into a new house with his parents. From the outside, the house looked perfect, big, quiet, and cheap. But inside that house, there was something no one had told them about. The first night felt normal. Everything was silent and peaceful, but exactly at 3:00 a.m., his phone suddenly rang. An unknown number was calling him. At first, he thought maybe it was just a wrong number, so he picked up the phone. But on the other side, there was only the sound of slow breathing. No words, no voice, just breathing. He got uncomfortable and quickly ended the call. But just 5 seconds later, the same number called again. This time, with a shaky voice, he answered and said, "Who is this?" And then a very slow, broken, terrifying voice whispered, "Don't go upstairs." His entire body froze because he had told no one that just a few seconds earlier, he had quietly walked out of his room and was now standing right in front of the stairs. He slowly looked behind him, but there was no one there. The whole house was silent, so silent he could hear his own heartbeat. He tried to convince himself, "It's just a prank." But then, from the locked room upstairs, he heard something. Footsteps. Slow, heavy, barefoot footsteps. Thack, thack, thack. As if someone was slowly walking across the wooden floor. His parents were sleeping downstairs and he was standing there completely alone. If you're still watching, go ahead and like this video because what happened next gets even worse. He gathered some courage and slowly looked up toward the staircase. Everything upstairs was dark. And then suddenly, the door of that always locked room began to open by itself. Creak! His breathing stopped. Inside the room, there was only darkness. But in that darkness, he could see something. A pale white face peeking from behind the door. He panicked and ran downstairs as fast as he could. He rushed into his parents' bedroom, but the moment he opened the door, his entire body went numb. The bed was empty. His parents were gone. Now he was truly terrified. With trembling hands, he took out his phone and tried to call his father. But when the call started, his blood turned cold, because at that exact same moment, from the upstairs locked room, his father's ringtone started playing. His eyes widened in horror. That meant only one thing. His father's phone was upstairs, inside that room. And then from upstairs, he heard his father's voice. "Son, come upstairs." It sounded exactly like his dad, but something about it was wrong. Very wrong. Because his father had never called him in that tone before. He slowly started stepping backward, but then something cold touched his shoulder from behind. His breath stopped. Very slowly he turned around and what he saw made his soul freeze. It was his mother standing right behind him. But her eyes were completely black, her face was unnaturally pale, and on her lips was a twisted, unnatural smile. Then she leaned closer and whispered, "Why did you answer the call?" He wanted to scream, but no sound came out. At that exact moment, every light in the house started flickering. Tock, tock, tock. His phone slipped from his hand, and when it hit the floor, the camera turned on by itself and started recording. The next morning, the neighbors said they heard terrible screams coming from the house. But when the police arrived, the house was completely empty. The boy was gone. His parents were gone. There was no one inside. Only one thing was found, a broken phone lying near the staircase. And inside that phone, there was one final recording. In that video, very close to the camera, there was a white face with pitch black eyes and a huge, horrifying smile. And just before the video ended, a voice whispered, "The next call will be yours." So, if you enjoyed this horror story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, because the next story will be even more terrifying. And remember, if your phone ever rings at 3:00 a.m. and it's from an unknown number, don't answer it.